Hi, my name is Matt Awkward, and I live in Westbrook, Maine with my wife and my cat, Chopper. I have been collecting tapes for a long time. Back in high school, I was obsessed with them. I was always buying movies growing up. Once I actually got my license, I was always off to the mall to Suncoast Video and whatnot, and buying tapes there for my own self. I was always renting tapes. I was voracious at the video stores, and I worked at Home Vision Video in Sanford. The manager there told me, Matt, when you're 18, come see me, we'll get you a job. Because they had the adult videos there, and you had to be 18 to work there because of that. So yeah, the day I turned 18, I did go to Home Vision Video, and they were like, oh, you're hired. Started the next day, and that was really fun. Basically, when the DVD switch came and everybody was throwing their tapes away, I just never did. And I didn't understand why people were doing that, because the movies were still good. I still used them. So for years, I was always hitting thrift stores and finding things. So a lot of my collection comes from movies that I've still had since high school, movies that I found at thrifts when it was very easy to find things at thrifts, when people were dumping tapes off left and right. It wasn't until I joined social media, I didn't join Facebook and Instagram until around 4 years ago. And, I finally got convinced to join Facebook, and then somebody put me in a tape group there, and then my buddy Michael at work told me, hey, there's a person posting tapes on Instagram a lot. So I had no idea what that was, joined that, and that's been a game changer. So, I mean, you can seriously call me a tape collector for, I would say, going on 4 years with like I said, I was just always buying movies and tapes, but it wasn't until I joined Facebook and Instagram and got super involved in groups that I started to accumulate very many tapes very fast. I love the way tapes look on a shelf, too. When you get them all, and you get them all alphabetized, and I'm kind of a train wreck when I select tapes or take pictures for my Instagrams, because I'll grab things off the stack, but I won't put them back, and then, months down the line, you've just got stacks everywhere, and then it's always a fun project putting those back together when you have a day off, and you just spend 5 or 6 hours just rearranging tapes and looking at them all. When they're all on the shelf like that, they look really nice together, but you don't see the backs or fronts or anything, so when you have days of rearranging, it's really fun to look at all your stuff, and I'm definitely materialistic. I like looking at all of my stuff. So I enjoy having tapes, I enjoy that physical media, I enjoy that looking through your own stuff to find something to watch. It's just a lot of fun. I like so many of my stuff, but some of my favorites include Sorority Babes and the Slimeball Bowl-orama. This was one of those movies that I had taped off USA Up All Night. I had a copy growing up. When I started renting movies, when I became like 14, my parents let me ride my bike into Sanford to go to Primetime Video, and they had Sorority Babes. I had lost my recorded tape, rented it so many times there, and I loved it. So I actually traded somebody, VHS Damaged Brain on Instagram. I traded him my Creepshow clamshell for this, and he was kind of very surprised I was doing that, but I was like, nope, I really want this tape. And this is kind of hard to find one. It's not impossible to find. I don't have any super rare, impossible things like that, but this one's kind of toughy to locate, and I love this movie, so I love this. One time I was at Goodwill, and I found this movie. I'd never heard of it, and it doesn't even really appeal to me looking at the cover. It's called Never on Tuesday, and but I bought it anyway, because I just never heard of it. So if I see a tape that I've just never ever heard of sometimes, I'll just grab it. I mean, not like I've heard of every single movie in the world, but sometimes you're just like, I've never seen that, never heard of it, never nothing, Never on Tuesday. It kind of sat for a while, and then I actually had it in a pile of stuff to just get rid of. And then Nicolas Cage has a crazy cameo in this movie, and that started getting some traction, and then I was like, what? And I pulled it out, and so then I find out, reading closely, Never on Tuesday is directed by Adam Rifkin, who did The Dark Backward, which I love so much. So I was like, holy shit. So I put in Never on Tuesday and watched it, and I absolutely love this movie. And this is another one where it's not on DVD, and it's impossible to track down. And I'm so glad that I have this and discovered it before just tossing it out. Another prize tape. This is just you can find this guy anywhere. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is not my childhood tape of this, though. When I was a kid, I was absolutely obsessed with Turtles. And my parents were divorced, and my dad bought me this movie at Ames for $19.95. And I watched it all the damn time. Well, there was a kid in my neighborhood named Tommy, and I was kind of jealous because he had this awesome treehouse. And my parents wouldn't help me put a treehouse together for some reason. They were busy. So I tried building my own, and it sucked, and so I hated his treehouse, so I actually went there, not proud of this, but I went there and I started wrecking his treehouse, taking a hammer and banging off the boards, and the neighbor, who always stayed in the house, she saw me and she yelled, she's like, I'm telling! So Tommy and his dad came to my parents' house and told them what happened, that I was seen wrecking this treehouse. So my mother grabs my Ninja Turtles tape, she opens it up, and she rips it all up because she blamed the Ninja Turtles for my violent actions that day. Since forgiven my mother, but so the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on tape will always be a favorite of mine just because it has that story attached to it. And again, for obvious reasons, this is not my childhood copy. But it looks just like it! Since joining Instagram and Facebook tape groups 4 years ago, I've just met so many incredibly awesome people. And it's so crazy, because they're out there. All of us nerds that collect tapes and love horror movies, we're all out there, but it's rare that you actually meet those people in real life, I find. I only have a handful of friends, like you, RJ, Jizzy down there in Limerick, us main groups here, but you don't often run into somebody that collects horror movies and stuff like that in real life. But then you jump on Instagram and you're just surrounded by a ton of people that do. And I've met so many great people on there, people that I'd love to pop in and meet in real life. And the generosity of the tape community is also amazing. Trading is so fun, throwing in bonuses is fun. The whole act of throwing care packages together, which I do, I need to start doing that a little bit more often. I just sent a good one out to New World Vision Order, my buddy Matt there. He's a great guy. He hooked me up with, all of a sudden I got a mystery box from him one day. Had the GoBots Command Center in it, all decked out with Matt Awkward's VHS Mobile Command Center, all that kind of fun stuff. My buddy Blake Donnelly, all of a sudden, he's like, I was thrifting with my daughter and we found something, and she said, send it to the Batman guy. So all of a sudden Blake sends me this message saying, hey, sent you a little surprise, be on the lookout for it. I get home one day and there's this giant 4-foot tall box sitting on my front steps. I open it up and it's Batman and Robin stand-ups, full size 6 feet stand-ups. They just sent for free. And that was a big rarity, but that kind of cool trading and cool bonuses and giving cool stuff and packing things with tapes and pogs and all sorts of weird retro things, because we're all just a bunch of retro nerds that love that old stuff. That's really fun, and just that camaraderie you have of meeting fellow nerds that are all obsessed with shit like basket case and stuff. Great times. The tape community is great, and most people are not mutants. Most people are great. There's some bad seeds everywhere, but yeah, most people are great. So if you're into that, definitely check out some tape groups, check out the Instagram. There's a great tape community on Instagram, and I'm really fortunate to be a part of it. Another fun thing about trading tapes and getting tapes in the tape community is some people really put a lot of effort into how they ship tapes to you. I cut the top off one box because it had such great art that I actually framed it. I still have this box. This is from my buddy King Bada, and I got a copy of Dead Alive from him. So he has this blood-splattered box with Nigel there, looking like he did. I hope we can see that. Holding the lawnmower there. I just watched Dead Alive again the other night, and I hadn't seen it in years. I had forgotten how truly bonkers and great that movie is. But yeah, thanks, King. I still have this box, still have another Batman Riddler one you made for me too. Not only do you get cool things in the mail from cool people, you get lasting art pieces too. If you think a cardboard box is art, I do. I think this is awesome. Another thing I love that's kind of big right now is people making their own mixtapes or fun bootlegs of things. And I got a couple of those that I just want to share that I've gotten recently. My buddy Gabriel made us this smiley face. This is my wife and I's one of our favorite movies. It's Anna Faris. Pretty much a one-woman show with Anna Faris. She accidentally eats cupcakes laced with pot and then tries to go on her whole normal business, being completely stoned. And it's kind of just, you watch her stumble through the day. Smiley face. Great movie, and this bootleg that Gabe made for me is fantastic. Look at that tape. It's just beautiful. Some people put so much time there. My dubs look like crap. They're all gaffer taped up and written with a title and a pen. I really gotta up my game. A while ago, Source Code VCR, I don't know if you've seen his work, but he does custom painted VCRs. They look amazing. My all-time 100% favorite movie has to be Ruben and Ed. And one day he surprised me with this bootleg of Ruben and Ed that he made, and it's just fantastic. And if you've seen the movie, you'll get the tape, but this is all it says on that. So that's a fun. And then another great boot, I used to rent this all the time for Videoport, was The American Astronaut. My buddy Jared made this one for me here. And The American Astronaut's a cool black and white rockabilly space musical. If you haven't seen American Astronaut, check it out. And so that's great. So that's another cool reason to join. VHS Rejects is a great Facebook group, and they focus heavily on boots. Everybody's making boots and mixtapes. It's really fun. So I kind of love that whole scene. I stopped at a thrift store in Farmington coming back from Rangeley one day, and they had a bunch of things. And I walked out there, out of that place, with about 20 tapes that I paid $0.25 each for. And one of those tapes was Demon War. And this is another one of those fun movies that I absolutely love. It's a little tough to find, not impossible, but still, finding Demon Warp for a quarter that day really made my day, because I used to rent this all the time from Video Bank in Springvale. And it's got George Kennedy, Bigfoots, aliens, zombies. One of the zombies is wearing a Residence t-shirt, bonus points there. Demon Warp's great. Check that out if you haven't. I'm so psyched to find that. We have a local music store chain here called Bull Moose that sells movies and games and music, and they also have a t-shirt. I have a t-shirt of them, slogan, Bull Moose, home of the 30-cent VHS tape. All the tapes are 30 cents. You never know what you're gonna find. I walked in there one day, had the whole shelf filled with tapes, all of them nothing, but right on top of one stack was the stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, please be the right tape, please be the right tape, please don't be covered in mold. So clean. But so yeah, finding the stuff at Bull Moose for 30 cents, that was cool. And then one day my wife and I were walking around the town of Bath and we found a video store that I had to look up today before I made this video called River Bottom Video. And this was late. This was just maybe 5 years ago or so. And he was still trying to make a go at it, renting DVDs. And he had a bunch of tapes on for display, just around the store, peppered some old VHS tapes from his collection. I asked if they were for sale, and he was like, sure. So I ended up buying The Vagrant there. He sold me The Vagrant for, I think, $5. And I'd never heard of this, never seen it, but you got Bill Paxton screaming and the spooky guy in the doorway. And I took it home, and I instantly fell in love with this movie, and I think I watched it 2 or 3 nights in a row. But if you haven't seen The Vagrant, it's basically just an hour and a half Bill Paxton freak-out fest. Super fun, and I was glad to find that. It's always fun finding things that, you've never ever heard of before, and you pop it in, and it becomes your new favorite thing. So, and one other fun, wild find was this big CED of hard bodies I found at a Goodwill in Brunswick. I don't have a CED player or any urge to have them, but they make great wall pieces, and I love the movie Hard Bodies. We actually just watched that again the other night. So it was kind of fun finding that, and you can hold it up to yourself and you can be a bikini girl. I don't have too many rare tapes, per se, the things that everybody are after that you can't find. I definitely have some that are hard to find, but nothing super impossible. But one thing I got from RJ is Candid Farts. Picked this up from RJ at a tape swap here. Don't recall what I traded for, but it's Candid Farts, and I haven't seen this movie anywhere else. It's the world's only hidden camera footage of people reacting to public displays of gas. An artistic production. So I was excited for this movie because it says that this guy is hosted by the Fart Master, who has an unparalleled control of gas. He can fart at will, he can fart in any kind of sound, and he goes and does that. Well, they kinda lie. The guy actually has a button for a fart box in his pocket, but it's clear that that didn't get picked up by the mic, or it wasn't funny enough, because every time he does farts, all the audio drops out, you just hear this obnoxious dumb fart sound effect, and then there's tons of audience cheering and clapping, just like in the old Candid cameras. It is beyond unfunny, and the video, I think, is only 22 minutes long, but it feels about 3 hours. And a fun fact, it also says contact K. Hodder for more information on other things. I wonder if that's Jason. Little Jason Voorhees side hustle. Also, it's Candid Farts Volume 1. I do not believe Volume 2 exists, but if it does, it's probably even more rare than this. Another one, my favorite rare tape that I have, Meatballs 3. What's so rare about Meatballs 3? Mine's signed by Maine's own Patrick Dempsey. I had somebody at the news center I work at give Patrick Dempsey this tape when he was in town for his Dempsey Challenge, and he had said that nobody has ever given him a Meatballs 3 to sign. So, rare? Yes. This is the only Patrick Dempsey signed copies of Meatballs 3 on the planet, to the best of my knowledge. And I cherish this. It's a great movie. I don't know if you've seen Meatballs 3, but a ghost of a dead porn star comes back and tries to help Dempsey lose his virginity over the summer. With a plot like that, you cannot go wrong. I have one tape that I still need, and that is Sleepaway Camp 3. I have Sleepaway Camp 1 and 2, but not that one. And I have a whole shelf right over there that I call my franchise shelf. That has all the sequels, all the Freddys, all the Jasons, Stepfathers, Chuckies, anything with a sequel. And a glaring omission there is just Sleepaway Camp 3. And it's a damn shame because I love that movie too. Anybody hold? My Grail tape. Grail tape. That one tape that I don't have that I want so badly. I've got that one. I want it so bad. It is this. Satan's Little Helper. This is a great movie. We watch it here every Halloween. It's fantastically fun. I want it on tape. This came out in 2005, right at the end of the tape craze, end of tape lifespan. This tape does exist. I have a handful of friends that actually have one. I want one so bad. It is impossible to find. So if anybody's watching this episode and has a Satan's Little Helper and wants to hook me up, that would be amazing. Please. So if you know me, you know I have an unnatural obsession with the movie Batman and Robin, and I'm not sure how that obsession actually even started. I tried to look back at my Instagram to like a post that I made that had maybe like 4 of them stacked on top of each other, but it didn't really give a reasoning why. And then I just kept posting Batman and Robins and stacks of Batman and Robins, and right now we're up to about 225 copies of Batman and Robin. And so this is just a little fun little thing that I want to share. They put out the Batman and Robin, the Ultimate Batman Collection. But when this came out, it only had the first 3 Batman movies. So I cut that all up, took a John Wayne box set, covered it in gaffer tape, took the cut-offs of the Batman Ultimate Collection, papered it over. So there. Now we have the actual Batman Ultimate Collection. Oh. That's cool, right? That's what I'm doing with my life. Great job, Matt. So, I'm sitting here in front of my Batman and Robin collection, and as I said earlier, I have a crazy obsession with Batman and Robin. So this, what you're looking at right here, is 225 copies of Batman and Robin. Again, I don't know how this stupid project started. I don't even know how I'm still allowed to keep these in the dining room. But it is. And so people started asking me, why so many? Why so many? And so I came up with the dumbass response of, I'm going to make a life-size statue of Mr. Freeze out of Batman and Robin tapes. And then I started thinking that that's not such a dumbass suggestion at all. So now my actual goal is to build a life-size statue of Mr. Freeze out of Batman and Robin tapes. Right now we're up to 225. I think I'm going to try to wait till maybe 500 and then try to put those all together. Hopefully that number will happen. If any of y'all out there are holding some Batman and Robins you wish to donate, I've got the Batman and Robin Mystery Exchange Club that I've got going on. So you send me some Batman and Robins and I'll send you a mystery box. It's super fun. Try it today.